Hi Aquarius, this is going to be a general reading for August 2021. This is going to be for the Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs, so check your other placements if you want a bigger, broader picture of what's going on for you. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm not a huge fan of massive intros, so I've already charged the cards. I didn't shuffle them though. I'll do that. I'll do that beforehand. So I'm thinking I'll just do your recent, past, present, near future, and clarify, and then I'm going to pull some oracle cards that are based on sacred geometry for you towards the end. Yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. Okay. Wow, they're flying up for you. I didn't even really... That jumped, so I'm going to take it. Okay. Okay, so what you get for your recent past, these two came out together, so I'm going to read them together. You've got the Six of Pentacles and the Hanged Man for your recent past. Oh, sorry, this is the Ten of Pentacles, not the Six of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Yeah, it looks like you were domestically comfortable and feel like you had everything you need and surplus, so you're able to provide for those around you, mostly family, I think. And also with the Hanged Man, so I don't get the sense that you were feeling stuck at all. It's more like you were just, content and just relaxing into it and allowing yourself to embrace new perspectives. But we shall clarify what that's about. And then you've got the Death in reverse. I'm going to clarify that because the Death card is quite abstract. No need to be scared of it, obviously. It's not literal death in this case, I don't think. But we'll clarify. That can be several things. And then you've got the Five of Cups. So there's some kind of disappointment in the recent past. But I'll clarify you have information about that. In your present situation, you've got the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So currently, it looks like you are getting a lot of positive opportunities or messages, and you seem really ambitious and empowered, and got a good network around you with the Queen of Wands. So there's that, fiery passion to, I guess, succeed and move forward. And then you've got the Justice card. Well, some of you might have some legal things coming up, but it looks like it will, possibly end up in your favour. Otherwise, for others of you, I will have to clarify what the justice situation is about as well. Knight of Pentacles also. So something's moving very slowly. In your near future, you've got the Six of Wands in reverse. So something's causing you to lack confidence in yourself here. And I feel like it's possibly linked to the Knight of Pentacles. It's possible that you felt that things are moving too slowly and you were possibly thinking that it's to do with you. And probably, led you to start to second guess yourself. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles. So let's say you start collaborating with somebody, maybe several different people. You could also be turning to institutions and just more established support structures in order to move forward. And yeah, it looks like you've got like your self-doubt showing its head again here with the Seven of Swords, sorry. Kind of taking up too much at once and feeling like, things are being left behind, and possibly feeling like some things are falling short. With the overall energy, bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Cups in reverse. So it's possible that because the Two of Cups in reverse normally means disappointment in love. So it looks like this reading could be about a romantic situation for some of you. But yeah, let's get into the clarifications and see what all of this is about, shall we? I didn't take out the previous one. Okay. Pentacles. Okay, so clarifying the situation with the Ten of Pentacles and the Hanged Man, you got the Knight of Swords in reverse, then the Page of Wands in reverse. So I'm going to talk about these two first quickly. So the Knight of Swords in reverse, that's about impulsivity with insufficient pre-planning. So that's kind of like diving into situations without really fully thinking them through, and you know, that might lead to silly mistakes. And at the same time, with the Page of Wands in reverse, you have this idea that you're not really sharing with anyone and you're kind of keeping it to yourself. But it's the same thing that you're rushing towards. It's like the secret project that you're working on. You're not really telling anyone about it. And it looks like you're daring to go into this, I guess, experiment, if you will, because you're very financially secure. So you can afford to take a risk. And it looks like you are, in a sense. And then what we also get is we have the Queen of Wands reversed, followed by the Emperor. I'll show you that again, actually. Sorry. So I'm getting a sense this is just describing your energy in your headspace. Sorry, this is an airplane. Give me a second. So with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it looks like you're kind of retracting from social engagements and just keeping to yourself and preserving your energy and just focusing on building your self-confidence and, you know, just making sure that you're stable enough for what you need to do. You know, so you're not necessarily being stringent with your energy, but you are putting yourself first, which is good, that's healthy, and that comes through with the Emperor. That's the Emperor energy. That the Emperor has an air of authority, but it's respected with authority, and it's never misguided. You know, so you use your authority in the right way, and in this sense, you're using that respect that people have for you to allow yourself to have time for yourself and energy for yourself. And that's also what I'm getting with the Hanged Man as well. So with this sense of putting your needs first, which is completely, yeah, you do that. That's coming through with the Hanged Man. And, you know, allowing yourself the time to get new perspectives, mostly possibly around yourself, actually. And yeah, basically it's giving you the time to be on your own and process what you need to process for this ambition that you are throwing yourself into. It looks like whatever it is that you embarked upon required a lot of self-confidence, and you needed to take the time out to build that up. Okay, so with this Death in reverse, let's see what comes out. If I wanted to. Oh, okay, so for the Death card in reverse, you got the Five of Swords and the Ten of Cups. There are two ways for me to interpret this. First one being that the Five of Swords that's being depicted, the conflict that's being depicted by the Five of Swords is coming to an end with the Death card, and then that brings you happiness. Alternatively, happiness is coming to an end because conflict is starting. I might need another card to see how that's... This is interesting. Capricorn not exactly the same. So you might be dealing with a Capricorn. But they also got this Four of Pentacles and Three of Cups combination here. And also in the Capricorn reading, it was in their near future though, they were also retracting from the social life in order to focus on themselves. And that's what I'm getting here. Oh yeah, so it looks like there might be drama in your social circle and you're deciding just not to engage with it for your own happiness. With the Death card in reverse. Normally, in a case like this, the Death card in reverse can be about resisting change. So this might actually be a pattern for you. This might be a regular thing that you do, where you retract socially in order to focus on yourself, which is totally fine. But that's what I'm getting in your recent past. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Yes, so I'm going to go with the narrative for most of you, that what's coming to an end is conflict. Well, what came to an end was conflict, and that brought you happiness. The reason why I'm saying that is because there's a natural progression, looks like here. So you see in this Five of Swords, she's pregnant, and then in the Ten of Cups, there's a child there. So that's why I'm saying that it looks like the conflict came to an end. It looks like you cut someone out, and possibly found somebody new, and you're very much enjoying your time with them, which is brilliant. And alongside that, you're focused on your work. I think your work's taking up a lot of your focus, and you're turning your back on social stuff. You probably just don't have the time and the energy for it, you know, because you're putting the energy towards yourself. Which is, well, this is your recent past. I keep talking in the present tense, but it's for your recent past. For some of you, you might be going through this currently because, you know, time is fluid. Everyone will be at a different stage, so take it how it resonates. Okay, Five of Cups. Let's see what this is about. Normally Five of Cups is about disappointment and fixating on what went wrong. So we'll see what happened here. Sorry, a friend of mine phoned me, so I'm not quite sure where I left off. I think I was just clarifying Five of Cups actually. That's a lot. Actually, let's try that again. That's also a lot. The cards are just kind of just throwing themselves. You get the Six of Wands again. So there's a lack of self-confidence. It's possible that whatever went wrong you feel like was a result of your own action or inaction, and hence obviously it took a knock to your confidence and your self-assurance. Anything else with Five of Cups? Yeah, no, nothing else is really coming through. I think perhaps a lot of you had experienced a variety of different disappointments, so I'm not able to really figure out what exactly happened, but I'm sure you would know, and whatever it was had an impact for sure. For some of you it was emotional and related to a person. For others of you it was work related. That's all I'm able to get from that, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm not going to force a message. Okay, so currently, let's clarify the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Alright, so you got the Moon, followed by the Fool in reverse, and the Six of Cups reversed, and the World. So there's a lot for me to cover here. So, okay, so for those of you new to tarot, I need to explain the Moon card. So with the Moon card, you are the little crayfish in the water, and the story behind this card is the crayfish, were born in this water, spent your life in this water, you know this water, you know you've been safe in this water, so you trust it. Problem is that food's running out, the water's getting cold, and it's getting increasingly uncomfortable. So now you need to make the choice: do you stay in the water that's becoming more and more unpleasant, or do you take the risk and you take this journey that looks dangerous and unknown and foreign, and despite those potential dangers, there's light on the other side and there's hope there. So now you've got a choice to make: do you stay or do you go? Essentially, it's what the Moon card is about. And there's another aspect here: the Moon card is about mystery, and the unknown, and potentially venturing into that. But now, seeing as you've got the Fool card in reverse, it looks like you are resisting this change. Because when the Fool card is upright, that's about embarking on a new beginning without really considering the consequences. He's about to step off a cliff and doesn't really care about it because he's not aware. Whereas, the dog's trying to warn him, according to some readers. When it's reversed, you are apprehensive and you're kind of teetering to the edge and just not quite making that leap. So you're considering and, possibly very much wanting to go on this new journey, but there's an element of bravery that's needed. And obviously it's quite fine not to have that. It takes some work to build that up, hence I guess why you're taking time to build up your self-confidence to take this leap. But at the moment you are resisting it, just because you possibly don't feel ready for it. Now, there's another aspect here with the Six of Cups in reverse. So the Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia, past events, past people. So when it's reversed, you are holding on to something from the past, even though your memories of this thing perhaps aren't quite accurate. So you're potentially scared to move on because you don't want to lose whatever this was, even though it may be better for you to release it. I also heard another reader say, I can't remember who it was, it mentioned something about this card that I find interesting, is normally the cups are filled with water, which is a symbol of emotion in tarot, whereas in this card the cups are filled with flowers, and even though the flowers may seem pretty, they smell nice, they're not going to last forever, they're going to die eventually. So you can't really start restricting and limiting your future based on past things that potentially no longer serve you. And that's an element I touched on the Moon card as well, past things that you know are doing more harm than good at the moment. So the advice here is to take the leap, because until you do that, you're going to be stuck in a cycle with the World card. So when the World card is upright, cycles are being completed, karmic cycles and things like that, and you embark on something new. But you can't embark on something new until you finish an old cycle. And basically what's required is, all that's required is for you to take the leap. Until you take the leap, you are stuck in a cycle. You are in full control at this point. The only thing keeping you in the cycle is you. The moment you decide to venture out the water and take that dive off the scary looking cliff, the cycle will be completed and there will be room for a new beginning. But until that, it's not going to happen because you're stuck in the past. And it looks like there are a lot of messages and a lot of opportunities encouraging you to take this leap with Eight of Wands. And then with the Queen of Wands, I feel like this is a card offering advice actually. Maybe some of you have already adopted this Queen of Wands energy, which is good. For those of you that haven't, I suggest you start working on it. Basically, with the Queen of Wands, I'm actually going to read it from the book because it gives quite a nice definition, and I don't want to get it wrong. So with the Queen of Wands upright, it says, always a social butterfly, you lead a busy life, making connections with others and putting yourself out there as you pursue your creative vision. You are confident, courageous and determined, unafraid to speak up and be heard. That's the kind of energy you want to have as you embark on this new journey. It might be the energy you need in order to feel like you're capable of surviving that journey. So yeah, do your best to get into this headspace. You have authority, you are desired and needed, and you clearly have the capability to be a success because it looks like you have done it before. So the only thing holding you back at this point is yourself, is what I'm getting here. My probably sounded quite harsh actually, but that's not how I meant it. I mean it in the nicest way possible. Okay, Justice card, let's see what's up. Whoa, okay. Hi Aquarius, sorry I have to stop the reading for a sec. I'm back. So with this Justice card, we've got clarifying it, I don't know if I showed you. So you have the Chariot with the Queen of Pentacles, and then you have the Devil in reverse with the Nine of Swords in reverse. I'm going to pull another clarification because this doesn't quite do it for me. Okay, I haven't shuffled this deck or anything, so it has to be a big moment for that. Okay, so clarifying it, you've got the Moon in reverse, the Sun in reverse, and the World in reverse. This looks like a connection with someone, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the Moon is typically feminine energy and the Sun is typically masculine energy. Obviously, seeing as I'm saying this as a romantic thing, obviously doesn't necessarily mean one of you is a man and the other is a woman. It just means that one of you has more feminine energy, the other is more masculine energy. And it looks like you are stuck in some kind of cycle with this person. And it's karmic with the Justice card. So what I've done with these cards is I've made notes on the back to help me study tarot. So I'm going to just read what's written on the back here for each of these. So the Moon in reverse, it says there's failure of imagination, opting for comfort instead of payoffs, deceiving yourself, use careful examination. And then with the sun in reverse, it says there's worry about health, children, or prospects, delays, situation will improve, but it will take some time. And the World in reverse, it says stagnation, inability to move forward, refusal to release, and there's lack of flexibility and causes lost opportunities. That being said, I am still getting the sense that the message here is about you and your person being stuck in some kind of karmic cycle here. I'm kind of getting your two energies here as well, one being the Chariot and one being the Queen of Pentacles. It's kind of like one of you is a homebody and the other one likes to go out and, you know, explore and possibly exploring good things and darker things with the Chariot there. Because the key thing about the Chariot is the rider doesn't actually have any control of the, what are they, like Sphinx? At the front of the Chariot, there's Sphinx that is guiding it. So I feel like you would be the Queen of Pentacles, the one pretty much staying in your home, enjoying being in your home or a place that feels like home, and just enjoying the abundance that's there, rather than going out and doing whatever it is that this person does. There could be a codependency thing here, and I'm saying that as well because you have the Devil in reverse. Now, the Devil in reverse talks about like toxic ties or addictions or things you struggle to let go of, but things that are doing you harm. Now, when the Devil is in reverse, you are aware that these things do harm, but you entertain them in any case for whatever reason. And it looks like this whole situation is causing you a lot of anguish. Possible, like, you possibly haven't been sleeping very well. I'm getting, not really like stress dreams, but like frequent wakefulness, probably struggling to fall asleep. Yeah, that's with the Justice. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how else to read that, if I'm honest with you. It feels like there's an emotional connection here that's keeping you stuck, stressed, and worried. Possible codependency. Could be on your side or theirs. And it's karmic. And it's a cycle you're stuck in as well. I want to see if there's any advice for the situation. Oh, you got the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is what your reading started off with. When I said that it was about impulsivity. And it's interesting as well because you had a very high Pentacles card in the recent past year as well. And the reading had said that you were stuck in some kind of cycle here. So clearly this is a cycle repeating. So whatever had happened here in the recent past, you're seeing a version of it happening again, essentially. So the Knight of Swords in reversed, it says, a person displaying false opinions or heroics, unreliable, will abandon difficult situations. And I'm kind of getting that with the Chariot as well. Just always on the move and always on the go. Even if they should be staying to see something through. It's kind of like when things get difficult, this person tends to bail. And that's really not fair on you because then it leaves you to deal with everything. Yeah, so it's possible that your connection to this person isn't the best for you. Dare I say it? Yeah, but let's see what happens with this Knight of Pentacles over here. So, clarifying this Knight of Pentacles, you get the Three of Pentacles, the Empress, the Nine of Cups, King of Pentacles reversed, and then the Ace of Wands. Sorry, yeah, by the way, the Three of Pentacles is reversed. So the Knight of Pentacles basically means that even though basically progress is slow, the slow movement, basically progress is slow, but the Knight of Pentacles resembles that you do get to your end goal, your end destination. It just takes a while. And it looks like whatever you're moving towards or whatever you're working on, you're doing it on your own. So you're not really paying heed to other people's advice or opinions around it, if they even know about it. It's just a very personal thing to you, it seems, and something you want to work on alone. And I also get the sense with the Empress, you're breathing life into it, and fertility, making something out of nothing. And really nurturing this ambition of yours. And whatever it is that you're working on brings you contentment. You're satisfied with the outcomes and the potential it has, which is really good. One thing I will say though is you also have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Now, when the King was reversed like this, he's overly fixated on monetary wealth or material wealth. Or work, and it gets to the point where he starts to undermine other wants or needs, either of himself or other people. So just be careful of this if you find yourself falling into this trap. There's more to life than material stuff and money and wealth and things like that. Also, the way the cards fell out, the King of Pentacles is turning his back on the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is a new ambition, a new start, a new idea. So you might be turning your back on new opportunities and new starts because you're overly fixated on this one thing, even though it's slow moving. So even though you feel like this is going well and you're working on it on your own, don't close off or turn your back on other opportunities, because maybe something better comes along, you never know. So keep your options open, don't fully invest or fixate on this. Even though it looks like it's going well, something else better could happen. Okay, so now we're going into your near future. So we've got the Six of Wands reversed. Let's see. Wow. the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. That's cool. I like that. Now, it's interesting because the Six of Wands reversed typically talks about kind of like self-doubt, lack of self-confidence, possibly as a result of several failures, maybe just one failure, or maybe just, you know, doubt because of your own thought processes. But clarifying it, you have really good cards in terms of, you know, the physical world. So the Pentacles are representative of physicality, material wealth, money, finance, work, that kind of stuff. And so with the Nine of Pentacles, this one, it's, you know, domestic comfort, not quite opulence, but it's, you know, you still have creature comforts that you worked hard for, and with the Eight of Pentacles, you're still working hard, possibly to either maintain this Nine of Pentacles or to develop it. Yeah, so your head is in the books, you are doing the work you need to do, and you're doing it well. Which is why I'm not quite sure why you're lacking self-confidence. It's possible that this is touching on the reverse King of Pentacles I was talking about before, where seeing as all of your focus is on the work side of life, possibly other things aren't getting due attention, and that's where your lack of self-confidence is coming from. It's probably not enough balance here. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking a step back from the work, but finding time for other things that will make you happy, rather than putting all of your eggs into one basket. You know, diversify a bit. Depending on if this connection is going well or not, perhaps that needs some due attention. Yeah, I reckon that feels right to say. So whatever this Justice, Devil, Chariot connection is, probably take a look at that and see how that can be redeemed. If at all. If it can't be redeemed and it's causing you nothing but stress, you are allowed to walk away from it. There's nothing holding you there, other than karma, but that's just a karmic cycle that you are stuck in. But the thing with karmic cycles is, karma is your mind, and you're not the mind, you are the soul. And it takes a while to progress spiritually to the point where you actually experience that, you know, realization. But once you identify with your soul, which is inherently you, you are no longer controlled by your mind, therefore you're no longer controlled by karma. Because let's not get into the spiritual talk, I don't think we have time for it, but basically what I'm trying to say is you can walk away from this connection, but if you do it prematurely, if you walk away from this without learning your due lessons, all that's going to happen is you're going to fall into another relationship very similar to it, and then you're right back where you started, hence the repeating cycle. But there's so that's the message there. Balance it out. Look at other things that perhaps you haven't looked at for a while, because they might be causing some issues for you. And now you have the Three of Pentacles upright, which is nice. Basically something has gone right. Oh, okay, I guess not. What's interesting here is, right, so to clarify the Three of Pentacles, you've got the Seven of Swords in reverse, and then the Seven of Swords arises again, upright. Now normally when this happens, because also previously you've got the Three of Pentacles reverse, when I do readings and I find that cards that start reversed end up showing up again upright, it shows to me that you are working through your karmic cycle and you are making progress in escaping it, which is good, because often with karmic cycles, there's several lessons you need to learn, and you're stuck in the cycle until you learn all of those lessons. Now, what I see is when cards are reversed, those lessons need to be learned, and as they're turning upright, you are in fact learning them, which is really good, which means, you know, you're making progress. You're going to escape this pattern at some point, because that's, you're putting in the due work here, the due attention. So with the Three of Pentacles, it looks like you start to collaborate and engage with other people, get some other resources in, basically start to build a network. But then with the Seven of Swords reversed, it looks like you feel like a fraud or a cheat for some reason. Let me see if I can get another card out. Okay, I'll be straight with you, it's not looking good. And I'm saying that because you've got the King of Cups in reverse, and then you've got the Ten of Swords. Now, with the King of Cups, the King of Cups reverse is a very emotional card. So, the King is a master of the cup suit. When he's upright, he acknowledges his emotions, pays attention to them, and entertains them without letting them take control over him. So he's a master of his emotions when he's upright. When he is reverse, his emotions take over, and they can be overpowering. You see how much water is in the background, and water represents emotion in tarot, and how wavy and turbulent it is. And basically, he has no control over it. And basically means that you are dealing with a lot of emotions that perhaps you were keeping bottled up and swept under the rug, and now they're coming to the surface. And you're possibly a bit overwhelmed by it. And it actually looks like someone else cheated you out of something, because now you have the Ten of Swords energy, which is kind of like, being backstabbed and betrayed, and one hardship after another. Which is unfortunate, because when you finally decide to open up and include other people, someone hurts you, and that's really unfortunate. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. I wonder if there's any advice. No, not really. I also suddenly had a thought that for some of you this can be a three-party situation. With this karmic justice person, with this relationship here. I wanted to say something about a three-party back here with the Knight of Pentacles, because you've got the Three of Pentacles reversed with the Empress. Yeah, it looks like the Empress could be a mistress, or a mister, depending, That's for some of you. And it looks like you find out about it. You find out about this third party, it's suddenly not kept from you, or perhaps you find out, maybe they come clean. But yeah, finding out about it definitely unhinges you. And obviously you feel betrayed and deceived and all of that, so that looks tough. Yeah. Another thing that I've noticed is a lot of these cards depict pregnant women. It looks like this other person, this mistress, potentially gets pregnant. And that's how you find out about it. That's a prediction for some of you. Obviously that won't be the case for everybody. But just a heads up. Yeah, sticking with that. Normally I don't make such bold predictions, but there are how many cards with pregnant women here? We've got 1, 2, 3. There was more, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's at least three cards here depicting pregnancy. Do you have a history of being cheated on? Yeah, that looks like the karmic cycle for some of you, and an aspect of it is being cheated on, and learning to not necessarily get over it, but basically trusting yourself and loving yourself enough not to tolerate it. And also another aspect that comes in is who you attract. So part of this lesson is being selective about who you're intimate with, and because hurt people, so obviously there are some aspects in you that need attention in order to attract healthier people, more stable people into your life. That's going to take more time for some and less time for others, and it does, like, this is going to be a lot of reading for some because there's disappointment in love. Oh, and then underneath that you have the Ten of Swords again. Yeah, being backstabbed and betrayed by your partner. I wanted to say this again with the cheating and the Justice card. Back here in your current situation, the Queen of Pentacles and the Chariot, it looks like you are the Queen of Pentacles holding up the home life, keeping everything stable, whilst your partner is off gallivanting and partying out at night and seeing other people. For some of you. You might even know about it. Some of you even know about it and you're still sticking around. But why, though? you deserve better than that, you know. You deserve to have commitment and stability, and you deserve to know where your partner is when they stroll in at 6 a.m. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on because we've got one last card, and then I'll pull some oracle cards for you. Right, what's the Seven of Swords about, please? Magician. Oh, it looks like with the Seven of Swords upright, you become aware of the deception and the manipulation that your partner's been pulling. And I'm saying that as well because you've got the Magician, and the Magician can be an arch manipulator. If you think about it, magic is nothing but illusion and manipulating someone's sense of reality with mind games and tricks. And it looks like you become aware of this happening to you. Is there anything else? Not really. But before I move on, I just want to double check this Two of Pentacles thing. I want to see if there is anything else I want to come out for that. Well, okay. I guess I'll take those three. This one first. Four of Pentacles. Successful venture ends a period of insecurity. Oh, that's perfect, because before that, you remember, so it says a successful venture ends a period of insecurity. So whatever it was that you were working on, it's successful and it brings an end to this insecurity. That is great. That is brilliant. Okay, and it says it can indicate selfishness. Now you are able to share. I think that just ties in with what I said about making sure that there's balance. Paying attention to things that need some work and investing some of the energy, some of the wealth into those things. Maybe people, you know, maybe some people need a helping hand. Maybe some people who are close to you need a bit of assistance for some. Okay, let me start asking about here. Six of Cups reversed. Being stuck in the past. Ten of Swords reversed. Yeah, yeah, it looks like this situation here is reminiscent of a past situation. It looks like you've been through this before. Yeah, so part of this is you got to pay attention to red flags. You got to recognize toxic patterns in people, because there's no doubt in my mind that someone who cheats, lies, and deceives displays red flags, and those red flags tend to be common among these people, and if you've experienced them before, then you know what these red flags are. You can't keep giving people the benefit of the doubt when they haven't earned that right. You know, you can't really, yeah, so someone has to earn the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, so it looks like you've been through this before, you've been through the heartbreak before, you've been through all of this before. This is a very familiar situation to you. Yeah, let me pull some oracle cards and see if they have any advice for you, because it looks like you might need it. It seems like you're in for a bit of a tough ride. Okay, so I just want to explain these oracle cards quickly. So they have images of sacred geometry with a description at the bottom of the. So how these work is okay. What I'm going to say, how I'm going to explain this might sound a bit scientific or a bit wacky, but I just want to reassure you, I am a veterinary student. I do study neurology. I do know what I'm talking about. So what happens is when you look at an image like this, that light from that image goes into your eye and hits the optic nerve, and that carries an electrical impulse to your brain, and then that electrical impulse gets distributed through synapses in your brain, which are connections between neurons, depending on basically the frequency of the image, you know, because obviously all the differences in light comes down to the frequency of that light, and different frequencies have different energies. So now when the synapses are decoding this electrical impulse to create an image in your brain, it's all electrical at that point, it's all energy at that point. And that energy will have an effect on your subconscious. So that's why when you look at the sacred geometry, it's basically you are subconsciously going to integrate the energy that it is displaying, and it'll be very healing for you. So I'm going to, after each card, I'm going to show it to you, and then you just pause it for as long as you feel like you need to look at it, and then sort it. Okay, so let's just see what comes up. think some of you are dealing with a Capricorn, just because the energy is flowing in a very similar way. Also, when I pulled the oracle cards for Capricorn, they got divine masculine and you got divine feminine. And also with Capricorn, the last two cards that I pulled were directly related to the reading itself, the messages in that reading, and the same thing has happened for you here. So your reading was about romantic love and prosperity, and look what you got. Romantic love and prosperity. I mean, you can't make it up. So I'm going to start with these two first. So romantic love, number 39, it says, the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. Find that healthy person to be a partner. Okay. Next, prosperity. So the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. Pause it if you need to. Okay. Right, so now let's start with the Divine Feminine, number 21. It says, the frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Okay, so next we have Realization, number 37. It says, the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Okay, and 15, compassion. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Great, that is what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope this helps. Leave a like if it did, if it resonated. Obviously if it didn't and you thought that I was spewing a bunch of nonsense for the past however long, then you can leave a dislike if you want. That's what the button is there for. If you want to leave a comment, I would really appreciate it. I would love to read some comments and see how this resonated with you. Yeah, and I will see you next time. Bye, Aquarius.